Hello friends, welcome to the classes audio. In this audio or video we are going to see the poem number first of the Beehive book of the English CBSE class 9. Let's start the chapter. Firstly, we are going to see the introduction of the chapter. In the poem, the road not taken, the road symbolizes our life. The poet says that the path that we don't choose in our life is the road not taken. He describes his feeling about the choice that he had left in the past. The path which we have chosen decides our future or destination. The important message that the poet wants to give is that the choice that we make has an impact on our future, and if we make a wrong choice we regret it but cannot go back on it. So we must be wise while making choices. Let's start the poem explanation. Once the poet was walking down, this is the explanation of the stanza number first. Once this poet walking down a road, and then there was a diversion. There were two different paths and he had to choose one out of them. The poet says that as he was one person, he could travel on one road only. He had to choose one out of these two roads. Yellow wood means a forest which leaves which are wearing out and they have turned yellow in color. The season of autumn, it represents a world which is full of people where a people have been living for many years. They represent people who are older than the poet. The poet kept standing there and looking at path very carefully as far as he could see it before taking the path. He wanted to know how it was it suitable for him or no. He was able to see the path till from where it's curved, after which it was covered with trees and was hidden. The happens in a life also. When we have choice we have alternatives, but we have to choose only one out of them. We take them to think about the pros and cons, whether it is suitable for us or not, and one only then we take a decision on what path we should choose. Then after, I am going to explain the second stanza. The poet kept on looking at one path for a long time to check if it is a right path for him or not, and then he decided and started walking on another path because he felt that the both paths were equally good. He says just as fair. So he felt that both paths were equally good and started walking on one of them. He adds the maybe he felt that the path was better for him, so he chooses it as it had grass on it, which means that it is unused. Not many people had walked on this path earlier. That is why this path was grassy and wanted wear, means that it was not walked over by many people. After he walked on the path for some distance, he realized that both the paths had been worn out of the same way. Both the paths were similar and worn out way. Even in our life, we take any paths or option, but all of them have the same benefits, disadvantage, problems, challenge, and we must face them. We think that we are choosing a better option, but it is not that way. After that, I am moving to explain the third stanza. The poet says that both the paths were similar that morning, both had leaves on them, and no one had stepped on them as they were still green in color. He decided that day he would take one path and keep the other path for another day. Although he knew that once he will lead on to another way. He knew that he could not go back and know the could not back on the choice that he had made. Similarly, even in our life, once we choose an option, we must keep on moving ahead with that option, and we never get a chance to come back and take the another options that we had left earlier. And after that, I'm going to explain the fourth stanza, that is, he says that in the future he will take a deep breath and say that once upon a time he had reached such a point in life that there were two options for him, and he traveled on that road which had been traveled upon by lesser number of people. That decision of his decides his future. Similarly, in future, when you grow up, then you will say that you once upon a time when you were young, you had two options. The choice that you made you what you become for it. This is a very strong message for all the students, that you should be wise and be careful while making choice out of the option that you have in your life, because your future depends on the choice that you make today. At that point, the video is end, and keep motivated from this poem, and thanks for listening and watching this video.